In alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. We're going to continue where we left off in our teachings of how to understand and benefit from the mistakes made by the companions. We're at the crossroads in history, whereas the arbitration decision had been delivered by Abu Musa Ash'ari and Amir al-As to the people in regards to the issues of, number one, whether Ali felt that Uthman was innocent of the charges made against him. Number two, did Ali think that his murder was wrong? And number three, did Ali believe that justice should be issued against those who killed Uthman? Okay, Ali had agreed with all of that. And Abu Musa Ash'ari announced that. But what Amir al-As and Abu Musa Ash'ari could not reach an agreement of is why come Ali did not take action immediately. Abu Musa Ash'ari himself didn't understand Ali's dilemma. No one would listen to Ali. Ali did not take action immediately because he really couldn't. The men responsible for killing Uthman were in control, were in power. They were the men from Kufa. They were all around them. They were running everything. Okay? His hands were tied. And Amir al-As's position was, well, since Ali is not going to take immediate action, then that means he was indirectly involved, which means, you know, maybe he wanted Uthman to be killed so he could be leader. So Ali should be removed as leader and replaced with Muawiya, so Muawiya can get justice for Uthman. That was their positions. They couldn't reach an agreement. So what the two agreed to do was, we're going to go and announce to the people that we're going to remove both of them as leader over the Muslims and allow the people to choose another caliph, another leader. But Amir al-As tricked Abu Musa. When Abu Musa Ash'ari announced to the people their decision that both he and Amir al-As had agreed that Ali and Muawiya should both step down from the running of caliph, and they should pick somebody else to be a leader so they can then deal with the issue of what happened with Uthman. And then he said, so on behalf of our agreement, I hereby remove Ali as caliph. Amir al-As played on that. When Amir al-As took the stage, he said, wow. He said, since Abu Musa Ash'ari just removed Ali, guess what, guys? Muawiyah is now the caliph or the leader over the Muslims. Hello. So this is where we are. Ali had been betrayed again, but Ali refused to step down because, as Ali said, being the leader over the Muslims is an obligation owed to Allah, not him. From such is Allah. And Ali was not stepping down. So what Ali recognized, though, is that he had to now take control himself. He now realized that that in order for him to lead the Muslims correctly and to end this whole crap, he had to take matters into his own hands. So Ali immediately called for jihad, not against Muawiyah, but jihad so he can go against the rebels, the people who are responsible for this whole fitna, the men of Kufa who are all responsible for this whole fitna. Since he couldn't get the other companions to see his dilemma, he's going to take matters into my own hands and put my trust in Allah and deal with it myself. Oust these people myself. So Ali raised together a small army and he left and immediately went to Kufa to fight against the rebels. And he was successful. In the meantime, when Muawiyah heard what had happened, and at this point in history, the Muslim world was divided. Half of the Muslim world was in support of Ali, thinking he was still caliph. The other half were in support of Muawiyah. When Muawiya heard that Ali had went to Kufa, Muawiya took advantage of that and tried to gather a bigger army so he could deal with Ali. And Muawiya decided that the best recourse would be to go to Egypt, because the other people that had betrayed Uthman and were responsible for his murder were the Egyptians. And this is where we began. We talked about how after Ali had defeated the men of Kufa whom he was fighting against, his army betrayed him again. He wanted to load up, mount up, and head off towards Syria to deal with Muawiya now. But his men refused. They refused. In the meantime, Muawiya got busy. He was very, very shrewd, very intelligent. He was a great political master. He had his eyes set on Egypt. He figured while Ali was dealing with the fighting amongst his own ranks, he was going to take advantage of the situation by going to Egypt and taking control of Egypt. At this time, remember guys, when Ali had first become the leader or the caliph, he removed most of Uthman's governors. And one of the governors, the governor of Egypt was removed. And he had replaced the governor of Egypt with Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr. Remember Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr? He had a personal vendetta against Uthman. He was the one angry. He was angry because Uthman would not make him a leader. And that's why he rebelled against Uthman. Well, Ali made Muhammad the governor of Egypt. Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was the son of Abu Bakr and his wife Asma. After Abu Bakr died, Ali married Asma, and Ali raised Muhammad as if he were his own son. And Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was very devoted to Ali. In the revolt against Uthman, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr had sided with the rebels of Egypt, remember? Because he was angry because Uthman wouldn't make him a governor. And also on the night in which Uthman was killed, remember, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr had entered into his room and grabbed him by his beard and held a knife to his throat. But he didn't kill him, because Uthman looked at him and said, "What would your father and I were best friends. What would your father say if he were alive to see what you're doing?" And that bothered Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr so badly that he put his knife down and he ran away. In fact, guys, he was not present when the other men came in and killed Uthman. Okay, so even though he played a role in the revolt, he did not kill Uthman. He couldn't bring himself to do it because he knew that Uthman and his father were very close. His father was Abu Bakr. Now, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr, he was a young, handsome man. At this time in history, he was only 22 years old. And by the way, guys, that is the reason why Uthman did not give him a leadership position. When Uthman was living, Uthman had told him, "You're too young. Wait till you get a little bit older. You're only 22 years old, 20 years old. You don't need a position right now." But when Ali gave him the position, he was 22, and he was very popular with the young men of Egypt. The young men who had rebelled against Uthman. Popular with the men who were responsible for murdering Uthman. These men used to hang around Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr, and he used to grant them favors. Now, as all the fitna was going on in Iraq, and in Kufa and Basra, in Egypt had its fitna going on too. In fact, the people of Egypt were divided into two groups. One group was in support of Uthman, and they believed that Uthman was innocent of the charges made against him, and that the people who killed him committed a great crime. And they kept their distance from the other group by living in South Egypt. Remember, Qais ibn Saud. Qais ibn Saud, he was the governor appointed by Uthman. And when Ali became the caliph, Ali removed him as governor and replaced him with Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr. But after that had happened, after being replaced, Qais had forced these people, he didn't force them to take an oath of allegiance to Ali. After Uthman had been killed, Qais told them, y'all don't have to take no oath of allegiance to Ali. He said, in fact, let's just be neutral. Let's not get involved in this crap. He said, if you don't take an oath of allegiance to Ali, we'll remain at peace. And we'll just stay out of this fitna. And based on that treaty that these people had with Qais, who was the former governor, when Muawiya sent a letter to Egypt asking them to join his side and raise vengeance for the murder of Uthman, they refused. Because they said, we are in a peace treaty agreement with Qais ibn Saud, who was the former governor. We're not going to get involved in any of this fitna between you closely related companions. Okay? So now that the arbitration decision had been read, now that everyone knew Ali was not stepping down and Ali was fighting it in the men in Kufa, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was approached by Muawiya. Muawiya had sent him a letter letting him know that he was coming to Egypt to get his vengeance. Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr and the people around him, they said, okay, we have to prepare for war against Muawiya. And they considered themselves strong enough to overthrow the supporters of Uthman who were living in the south of Egypt. Okay, now those pro-Uthman people, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr considered them to be allies of Ali. But really, they weren't allies of anyone. Okay, they weren't allies of anyone. They refused to get involved. Okay, wait, hold on, so my computer, sorry. Okay, so Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr, he considered them allies of Muawiyah, I meant, guys, not Ali. Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr considered them to be allies of Muawiyah because they refused to take the oath of allegiance to Ali, but they were not allies to anyone. So what Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr did was he went to these people as governor and told them, either y'all take the oath of allegiance to Ali within a month, or I am going to consider you to have allegiance to Muawiya. And if you have allegiance to Muawiya, I will fight you. I will kill you. I will run you out of here. Because he knew that Muawiya was on his way to Egypt. Okay? Their response was that if they took allegiance or fought, they would be in violation of the treaty that they had with the previous governor. They wanted to be left alone, to not be, put in the middle of this fitna. Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr did not listen to them. Instead, he gathered an army and he fought against them. They invaded Karbata. And in this action, guess what, guys? The forces of Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr were defeated. Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was defeated by these men. And these men then went into an open revolt in Egypt. So now Egypt was in a state of revolt, just like Egypt was a few years ago. Revolted. The people were in a revolt. Okay? When news about what happened in Egypt reached Ali, at this point, Ali was successful in fighting against the men at Nahrawan, but his men refused to go to Syria. So Ali received news about what happened in Egypt. He was told how Muawiya took advantage of the situation, okay, by trying to launch an attack against Egypt. And when he heard about what had happened, Ali then met with Malik Ashtar. Remember, guys, Malik Ashtar was the commander of Ali's army. He was the commander at the Battle of Siffin. And after they had won the Battle of Siffin, Ali had made Malik the governor over Mesopotamia, which is now, you know, that part of the world that was once run by the Romans, run by the Romans. Now, remember, guys, during the rally of Aisha and Talha and Zubair, remember when Aisha had first raised up her jihad banner to bring justice for the murder of Uthman against the people of Basra. Remember, one of the main supporters she had was Qais ibn Saud from Egypt. And remember, he had given her the money and everything to support her army. Remember when they rolled out from Mecca to Basra, the men began to argue as to who should be the caliph. Should it be Talha or Zubair? Remember when Qais ibn Saud heard the men arguing, he said, this ain't no jihad. He said, this is a quest for power, so I don't want no parts of this. Remember, Qais left the army. He turned around to go back to Egypt. He said, I don't want no involvement in this. And on his way back, he ran into Ali, because Ali was on his way to head off Aisha. And he ended up joining up with Ali. Well, guess what? When Qais ibn Saud joined up with Ali, him and Ali became friends again. And now that Ali had heard about what happened in Egypt, Ali consulted with Qais ibn Saud, because in fact, Ali realized another mistake he had made. He realized that he had made a mistake in removing Qais as the governor of Egypt. Qais was more intelligent than Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr. He was older. He was an eminent companion. He was a skilled warrior. He realized that he should have never removed him as governor. And by the way, Qais had become one of his consultants. He was one of the few people who were starting to see things from the perspective of Ali. So Ali met with him and asked him, what should they do? Ali could not put him back as governor because that wouldn't work. That would tick off Muhammad. And also he needed him to stand by his side at Kufa as an advisor. Okay? But Ali realized that Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was too young. Even though he had made him governor over Egypt, he now realized why Uthman didn't do it. Muhammad was too young. He was a 22-year-old kid. He had no experience in this stuff. So Ali had to figure out, what am I going to do to try to keep Egypt, to keep Muawiya from coming in there and taking Egypt? Because here Muhammad is fighting with his own people. Here Muhammad is, he done fought a battle and lost it against the men in the south of Egypt. So what Ali did was he asked Malik Ashtar to go to Egypt and take governorship there and restore order. Malik Ashtar, as everybody knows, was a good military genius, and he had already had a lot of influence with the people of Egypt. So that's where he had been from anyway. He used to live there. So it was the decision of Ali, because of what Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr had done. He done waged war against their own people in Egypt, lost the battle, got all this stuff going on. He realized, I'm going to replace Muhammad with Malik Ashtar. And when Muawiya heard about it, Muawiya got nervous. Because again, Malik Ashtar was a great warrior. And remember, guys, all these men were companions of the Prophet. Malik Ashtar was a companion of the Prophet too, just like Muawiya, just like Qais ibn Saud, just like all of them. Malik Ashtar was strong. Muawiya began to believe that maybe Malik would be able to suppress the disturbance in Egypt. So what Muawiya did was Muawiya tried to put together a plan, a conspiracy to kill Malik before he could reach Egypt. So what Muawiya did, he took into confidence the chief of Qaizum, which is a town on the border of Syria and Egypt. And he bribed this tribe's leader to kill Malik when he arrived there before going into Egypt. And the man agreed. So as Malik Ashtar was on his way to Egypt to take command there and try to bring back order for Ali, he stopped over in this small town. The people waited on him. They looked after him. They cooked him a great meal, gave him all this great food, lamb, goat to eat. But little did he know that they also gave him a cup of honey that had poison in it. Malik Ashtar drank that cup and he died within a few hours. And this is what Muawiya was good at. Muawiya was a good politician, a good warrior. He was the son of Abu Sufyan. Come on, guys. Great tribe of the Quraysh. He was a political genius, a war genius too. So here, Malik Ashtar met his death. He was an eminent companion of the Prophet. He met his death through a cup of honey. So he never made it to Egypt. And when the news of Malik's death reached Muawiya, Muawiya was happy because now he didn't have to worry about him. He knew he could deal with Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr. Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was just a kid, was a child. This was a military genius. So when Muawiya received the news, he announced to the people that Malik Ashtar had been killed. In fact, he said not only did Ali lose one of his good arms, he lost two. He lost his first arm when Ammar ibn Yasir was killed during the Battle of Siffin. That everybody know he was an eminent companion, the one the Prophet said would be fighting against evil people. He said then he lost his other arm with the death of Malik Ashtar. So Muawiya was happy. Ali, on the other hand, was not happy. When Ali heard about what happened, he became overcome with grief. Ali now seemed to be fighting a losing battle. He had lost all his friends. He lost Ammar. Now he done lost Malik, who was a genius. You know, he seemed like the people to support him, who could support him, he was losing them quickly. Abu Musa Ash'ari fell into the fitna. So Ali didn't know what to do. You can imagine how depressed he had become. His men had betrayed him, and now he lost another one of his military geniuses. Okay? So what Ali did was he wrote a letter to Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr to say that he had passed the order for his betterment, because he knew that Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was going to be angry because he heard that he was being removed. He knew that Malik Ashtar was coming to Egypt to remove him. So to keep Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr from rebelling against him, Ali wrote him a letter telling him, you know, I love you. You're like a son to me. The reason why I was replacing you is because I was going to give governorship to you of another country. I wanted to get you out of Egypt and move you to a peaceful place where you could live in peace and not have to deal with the rebellion. So that's what Ali did. He tried to smooth things over with Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr, you know, by telling him, you know, I was removing you, but I wasn't going to take away your leadership. I was going to make you a leader of someplace else and have Malik deal with Muawiya. Okay? So that's what Ali did to try to smooth things over. Now, in the meantime, as Ali was trying to smooth things over with Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr. And as Ali was dealing with the grief of having lost Malik Ashtar, his #1 supporter, Muawiya, on the other hand, had sent Amir ibn al-As to go to Egypt and fight and take control there. Remember, Amir ibn al-As used to be the governor of Egypt too. Okay, so he knew all about Egypt and had a good relationship with the people there. In fact, when Amir left, Muawiya told him, he said, "You were the first conqueror of Egypt, so I'm sending you to go and reconquer it." The plan of the supporters of Uthman was that Muawiya Abu Bakr in Egypt itself, and he wanted Amir ibn al-As to lead the attack. Okay, so again, so here Muawiya sent Amir ibn al-As. Amir ibn al-As is one of the first people, the first Muslims to arrive in Egypt and make Egypt the Islamic state that it is now today. And he was sending him back to do the same. Okay, so while Ali was dealing with his grief, Muawiya sent his forces forward to Egypt. Okay, in the meantime, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr, he had lost the battle against the men in South Egypt. He has sent a letter to Ali asking for reinforcements. But the help that Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr had received was not enough. Okay? He ended up being defeated by the Uthman supporters of South Egypt. And what did Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr do? After being defeated, he escaped the battlefield and he ran and sought refuge in the ruins outside the city of Fustat. In the meantime, while Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was hiding out, he was basically, guys, hiding out in the city of Fustat. Having been defeated by the Muslims in southern Egypt. In the meantime, Amir ibn al-As and his army were almost there in Egypt. Muawiya had appointed another man named Muawiya ibn Hander over the army in Egypt by Muawiya. As Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was hiding out in the city of Fustat, this man, Muawiya ibn Hudayj, happened to come into Fustat, heard he was there, and took him as a captive. And they sent word to Amir ibn al-As, who they knew was on his way there to lead the forces, that they had Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr as a captive. Now, Abdul Rahman, everybody knows who Abdul Rahman is. Abdul Rahman, he's another eminent companion. He's the son of Abu Bakr. He was Aisha's brother. Abdul Rahman ibn Abu Bakr was the brother of Aisha, the wife of the Prophet. When Abdul Rahman heard that his brother Muhammad was taken as a captive, a prisoner, he pleaded for his life. He sent, he pleaded to Amir al-As, please, don't kill my brother. He's just young and stupid, but don't kill my brother. Because Abdul Rahman ibn Abu Bakr was there with, was in the army with Amir ibn al-As. Okay? So when the word reached them that they had Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr as a captive, Abdul Rahman begged him. He said, please, please don't kill my brother. We'll just, we'll deal with him. He's just young. He's stupid. He's only 22 years old. So Amir ibn al-As sent word back to Ibn Hudayj, who was the commander of the army in Egypt. He said, I want you to keep the prisoner and send him to me. He said, do not harm him. Send Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr to me so I can deal with him. But is that what happened? No. Muawiya ibn Hudayj, who was the leader of the army in Egypt, he said, why should I send this man back to you? He said, this man took up arms against Uthman. This man was friends with the rebels who killed Uthman. This man did not show any mercy to Uthman, so why should I show mercy to him? And then Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr, he was begging for water. He was told, you didn't give water to Uthman before y'all killed him, so ain't nobody giving you no water. And guess what they did to Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr? Even though Amir ibn al-As had told them to send him to them, after the pleading of Abdul Rahman, his brother, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was killed mercilessly. And they wrapped his body in the skin of a donkey and burnt it. So that's how he met his death. Okay? So here you can see all of these eminent companions who done played a role in all this fitna. The Prophet said the day would come when all this fitna would happen amongst his nation, his companions. In one hadith, he said, I would see some of my companions will run to my pool, El Kawthar, and they will try to drink from it, but they will be stopped. And I will say that they are my companions, they are my companions. And it will be said to me, but you do not know what they did after you were gone. That's what these hadiths were speaking about. Look at what happened to Abu Talha, the terrible death he met. Look at Az-Zubair, the terrible death he met. Look at this, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr, the terrible death he met. Okay? Look at Amir al-As. Look at all these eminent companions. The horrible things happening. Okay? These are the men of paradise, though. Amir al-As and Az-Zubair and Talha. Allah has already forgiven them of their sins. They are of the 10 men promised paradise. But these other ones, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr, okay, Malik Ashtar, they're not of those 10 promised. But look at this. This is what the hadith was speaking about. My companions, my companions. Ah, but you do not know what they did after you left. Something for us to think about. Something for us to ponder. Our beloved Uthman, he met a horrific death. He was not even allowed to break his fast with water. He was denied being buried in a Muslim grave. They would not even allow his wife to bury him in a Muslim grave. They buried him in a grave with kafirs. That's what they did to our beloved Uthman. And even though Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr did not play a role in that murder as far as actually directly doing it, because he ran out, he couldn't do it. He ran out. He still was friends with the men who did it. And look at how he met his death. They killed him, tortured him, and wrapped his body in the skin of a donkey and burnt it. And you guys know in Islam, it is haram. It is haram for us to burn another human being. We cannot burn a person. Only Allah can control the fire, not us. Okay, so we'll stop right here for today. What happened after this? What happened after this? What happened when Amir ibn al-As arrived in Egypt? What about Ali? Poor Ali. He was just betrayed over and over and over again. He had no support. What happened? We'll pick up tomorrow. So we'll stop right here. If you guys have any questions or comments, inshallah, you can go ahead and type them on the screen. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika.